Welcome to the Sowing Seed Podcast. One guy's thoughts on family, faith, farming, and financial freedom. Now, here's your host, a man who has so many onion stories it will make you cry, Matt Miller.
Honey, the cats are in the attic. Before we got toothless in midnight, about 3.5, 4 years ago, we had a cat come and adopt us. A female, but our youngest, Rebecca, called her Bob before we knew what sex that she was. Anyway, Bob adopted us and shortly thereafter had four actual babies. One stuck around for a while and then we never saw again. My guess is it was gotten by an animal of some kind. But the other three have still stuck around now for years. Squirt, Tiger, and Theo, 2 boys and a girl. Anyway, I'll never forget, not too long, a year or two ago, I guess, I was out doing a bunch of work in the garage where we have all of our vending equipment, all of our product, all that type of thing, and I was loading up a vehicle to go and do my thing in some of my schools. And the garage door was open, and the cats got in. Well, next thing I know, they're hopping up from shelf to shelf to stack, and before long, they're up in the attic. We freaked out quite a bit. We know now that it's not that big of a deal, but at the time, given how difficult it is to get around our attic, it's covered with insulation, and just being able to see where the boards are and all that stuff to be able to get around would be very, very, very difficult with nothing to hold on to as we go. So we were freaking out quite a bit. Well, we found out before long that the cats were going to come down after a little bit because they were hungry and thirsty. And so eventually they came down and we moved them back outside again. Well, when Toothless and Midnight got too big and too rambunctious to stay in my office all the time, and quite honestly, the litter box was just reeking, we put them out in the garage again. And for a couple of days, they were content just to hang out down on the floor and do their thing. But it didn't take them long to figure out how to maneuver up into the attic as well. And so for the last several months, they've been primarily living in the garage, and we hear them on a regular basis running around all over the place in the attic. Well, it's finally gotten to the point where we are concerned, because they'll come down, they'll eat, they'll do their thing. But quite honestly, we're concerned that if we're not careful and we let them continue to do so, that eventually they're going to mess up something electrical, they're going to short out a wire, they're going to do something to where it could put our entire house at risk for fire or what have you. So we're approaching the point really, really quickly here where we're going to have to do something with the cats. And we did take Midnight in and get him fixed. Of course, Toothless had been fixed previously, and they had both gotten their rabies shots. So we've got all the pieces of the puzzle taken care of to do our part to protect the cats and to make sure that we don't have generations being birthed and running around all over the ridge in the neighborhood that we live in. But once again, as I've talked about on previous episodes, it's the concern of getting them out and not having them run off by the older cats that have been around for years. And also them learning the ropes and knowing how to hide and protect themselves at night so that they don't get carried off by a coyote or something else. So anyway, we'll keep you posted. But needless to say, cats in the attic, at least at this point in time, are pretty regular occurrences here at EIU. Have a great day. God bless you.
Thanks for listening. Check out our website, sowingseed.net, the Sowing Seed channel on YouTube, and if you got something out of today's podcast, and give us a 5-star review on your podcast player of choice. Until next time, go plant the seed you need to succeed.